Little chitter chattering here. Some of you are new to my channel, probably largely because of my association with one and only farmer after he saved my life from the raging river up in New Jersey. A lot of y'all came over at his recommendation, and so you're new to me, but basically I'm the kind of guy that I'm not a big drama guy. People just come and watch me doing my regular everyday thing, which is basically just an old retired guy living his life. I do play a little banjo, and some people find that annoying. Some people actually like it. So I used to have a bunch of banjo music I had recorded over a period of years. It may be lost forever. So far, a great deal of stuff, computer stuff, was ruined in the flood. And I had many discs with banjo music on there. And when I say disc, I mean memory, like whatever you call those little boxes that has 5 tigs of memory. I had many of those and with music files on them, and so far I haven't found any that work, which is not the end of the world. You know, Garrison Keillor used to have a great story about, and I don't think it was true. I don't think any of Garrison Keillor's stories were true, but they were fun to listen to. But he used to talk about a young man who wrote the best book ever on a train, and then when he got to his destination, or maybe it was the best story ever, it was gone. It had become lost, and he spent the rest of his life trying to recreate that perfect story and never succeeded. But in the process of doing that, he wrote many, many, many wonderful stories. I think that was probably a story about himself, and I was right in the middle of telling a story when my camera quit recording. That's okay though, I'll just keep going. So anyway, Garrison Keillor had this great story about how a young man lost the best story that had ever been written and spent the rest of his life trying to recreate that best story, and in the process created many wonderful stories. Well, sometimes having a disaster, and maybe losing your music is not really a disaster, but let's just go with it. Sometimes having a disaster is a blessing, because then you create something brand new to replace the thing that was lost. I have a banjo in there that I ordered. I actually ran across a banjo at a music store online and ordered it and had it sent to Bobby, and I knew there was something wrong with it. And I'm the kind of person where if you give me something perfect, it's too good for me and I can't have it. I don't know why, but I've literally had a perfect banjo before, and I was so nervous about that banjo. I was so afraid someone was stealing it, or would steal it, and I was so afraid that I was not fit to take care of it, or not good enough to own it, basically, that I literally sold it to someone else, because I couldn't stand the pressure of owning anything that good. I know it might sound crazy, but I'm a little crazy. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. So anyway, I got back home and I had a lot of banjos in a trailer, and they were okay. They weren't ruined by the flood, but things were a confused mess. You know, we went from Georgia to Maine, where we owned a home where we'd lived for about 15 years, and we decided to sell the house, which meant I had to get rid of everything that I had collected for the last 15 years, which meant that, you know, I build antique cars, and I collect cars, and I build banjos, and I collect banjos, and I like to do some woodworking, and I like to bend metal, and I like to shape metal, and I like to make things out of nothing. I guess if I had to take everything that I like to do and narrow it down to one thing, that one thing would be I like to fix something that's broken, that no one believes can ever be fixed or can ever be of use again. Now, in a way, that's the way I think, that's the way I feel and think about God. I mean, a lot of you talked about God, because I talked about God. I believe God is a carpenter who works with broken tools and works with imperfect materials. We would be the broken tools, and we would also be the imperfect materials. I love to find something that's broken, and there's no way that anyone would think they can fix it. And I like to take that and turn it into something pleasing. And I do that a lot. You know, people bring me stuff: broken lawnmower, broken weed whacker, a broken musical instrument. People just bring me stuff and say, "Here, I saw this and I knew you'd want it." And the reason they know I would want it is because I like to fix broken things. So in the process of doing that, I've collected a lot of things, and I've collected a lot of tools to fix things with. And we decided that we want to live in Georgia and not in Maine. We've been, I was born and raised in Georgia, but we went to Maine. I went to Maine for the adventure. I was driving a truck in the South, and it was okay, but it wasn't making me excited about waking up every morning. So I jumped in. I quit my steady job. Pretty dumb thing to do, by the way, because I was making good money at it. But I quit my steady job, signed on with some outlaw truck driving place, and I'm surprised they stayed in business for more than a week without getting sued. Jumped in a piece of junk truck that he probably bought at a fire sale, at an auction, that was probably stolen from somebody somewhere. I don't even know, but I drove, horrible equipment, went all over the country, had some awesome adventures. Kept moving around until I found a place where I wanted to be. And there were two places I wanted to be. I had narrowed it down to, I was either going to wind up in Washington State, out there where Waylon Wire lives, and some of you might know him, or I had really become attracted to the state of Maine, largely because my dispatcher had sent me to the state of Maine 2 weeks in a row, which is really unusual. If you're an over-the-road truck driver, you rarely ever go to the same place twice. It's even supremely rare that you go to the same place twice within the course of a week or two. Well, that's what happened in this case. I went back to Rockland, Maine. I first went there the weekend of the Rockland Lobster Festival, which was, I was a dumb Georgia boy, and I figured if I walked down to the docks and say, "Hey, I'm from Georgia. I never had a lobster, never seen a lobster," I thought that, "Oh, well, here, have one, try one." It wasn't like that. You had to whip your wallet out and pay some money to get a lobster, but that's a whole other story. But I established a life in Maine, made my parents very angry because they wanted me to live in Georgia, but I was just really bored with living in Georgia. I wanted some adventure, and I had a lot of adventures over the years. I fixed a lot of things, I collected a lot of things, and me and my wife started coming down here to Georgia when I retired, and we liked it a lot. At first we just had a piece of land here, and then we parked an RV on it, and then we put a shed up to park the RV under, and then we built a little storage building, and then got another one and turned that into a sewing room. And before you knew it, we were enjoying our lives here more than we were enjoying our lives up there. And we made such amazing friends here in Georgia. We met really fascinating, interesting people who wanted to have relationship. They wanted to be friends. They wanted to hang out together. They wanted to go to the beach. They wanted to sit by the fire pit and play guitars and banjos. They wanted to, sit up on the porch late at night, and the women liked to dance, and it was just insanely fun. And we were sad every time we had to leave and go back to Maine, because in Maine, the summers are beautiful, but seemed like all winter long we were plowing snow and stacking wood and buying fuel, because we were getting ready for the next winter, which, that's what you do in Maine in the summer, is you get ready for winter. That's an awful lot to say, just to say that we decided we would not continue to live in Maine, but we would live here, which left us a couple of options. One was to sell the house up in Maine or to rent it out, and both options looked pretty good. And my wife asked me what was I going to do, and I said, "I don't know. When I get up there, God will tell me." And kind of worked out that way. I got up there, somebody made me an offer on the house. I said yes, and then we had to clean the house out pretty darn quickly. So I liquidated everything we owned, or we liquidated everything we owned, and we got down to, my goal was to get down to one trailer load of stuff that would fit in this trailer, and the rat rod, and my tools. Well, that almost worked. I found out when I filled that trailer up that it weighed about 10,000 pounds, and single axle trailer. So I wound up unloading about half of it and hauled that down here, and then I went to haul the next load down here with my truck. And of course, you probably have seen the video. I got stuck in a hurricane, flood, stranded, and had to be saved by one lonely farmer. My truck stayed up there, and the trailer stayed up there, and then we brought the trailer home last week. We actually put the rat rod on a flatbed trailer, left it with one lonely farmer, picked up the soaking wet trailer and brought it home. And we've been going through the process of pulling things out of it, throwing away everything that's ruined, and trying to figure out what to do with the things that were not ruined. So basically for a period of 8 weeks, maybe 9 or 10 now, we've been go. We've been like, okay, let's sell this, let's sell that, let's get rid of this, let's figure out what to do with that. I had some antique cars to sell, I had trailers to sell, I had a boat to sell, I had tools to sell. My wife had all kind of furniture in the house to sell. And it's been rush. And then we got back down here, and it was the same thing. We got a trailer full of wet stuff. We got to get it out of the trailer. We got to throw all this stuff away. We got to figure out some place to put this stuff. Now we got to figure out some place to put it so that we can do something with this other stuff. And today is the day that I woke up and said, that's over. I don't have to do that rush anymore. I'm not, like, it's like when you have a job. If you got a job, you got to get up tomorrow at 5 in the morning and be ready, fix your lunch, get everything ready and go to work and be at work by a certain time. And it's been like that. And now it's not. We're retired. We live in Georgia. We moved down here to enjoy life. And today is the first day that I have to enjoy life in all those weeks. Because all those weeks, even though I enjoy every day, I really haven't had the time to really soak it in and just soak in the joy of being alive. Now, I still got a mess in here. It's not a horrible mess, but there is a mess, and I still got lots to do. Like that welder was underwater. It's a Lincoln wire welder with gas. The gas bottles for it are up in New Jersey in the, where are they at? Oh, they're in the back of the truck. I think the gas bottles are in the back of the truck. Or they could be here, under something. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I still got stuff to fix. I still got stuff to arrange. I still have stuff to enjoy. But I'm not going to go crazy thinking that everything has to be done right now because it's an emergency, because things just happen. Yeah, well, every day is an emergency, and things happen every day. And you know what? Today is the day we stop. We start enjoying life. Not that I haven't been enjoying it before, but today is a good day to start enjoying life. Now that I've said that, I'll take it out over here and let you look out the door. Yeah, it's raining, which is okay, I'm okay with it raining. I still got plenty to do, and we're still going to have a good time. I don't even remember. If anybody hadn't told you yet, I got ADHD or ADD or something. I think my brother had ADHD, and I just got the ADD part. He had it worse than I do. But here we are in a great spot. I'm surrounded by stuff that I love enough to haul 1,400 miles across the country in order to keep. And I got some things that need to be fixed, which is right. I'm right in my glory. If I got things that need to be fixed, that's right where I need to be. I don't know what else to say, except today we start something new, and that something new is going to be enjoyable, whether you like it or not, or whether I like it or not. And the way I do that often is, if I've got a lot of things that need to be done, I can be overwhelmed and think, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it all, and just like become paralyzed by that. But also, I've learned that if I take one thing, just one thing, and I do that one thing, and I start it and I finish it and I get done with it, I can find joy in that. I can be happy with that, and that can be enough to keep me going so that I can move on to the next one thing. That's what we're about to do here now, starting right now. I'm going to figure out, I did that this morning. I took that pistol that got soaked and was caked in mud, and I took it apart and I cleaned it and I oiled it and I put it back together. I've never even fired that pistol. I may fire it some and then take it apart again and look at it some more. There could be some rust hidden deep down in the magazine or something. I don't know, but we'll approach that when we approach that. But for today, that's done. So I wonder what else we're going to get into. Now, if you're interested in coming along with me as I do that, you are invited. Come along with me. We'll see what we get into every day. That's how I roll. That's how we roll. I got a lot of friends on here. I got friends on here that's been with me for 13, 14, 15 years. And good people. I've met a lot of good people on YouTube. And I found that YouTube is an awesome place to make new friends. So feel free to stick around. Here we go. Who knows what's going to happen. It's going to be fun, though, whether you like it or not. I'll see y'all later. I'm going to stop this now and see what I can get into. Bye.